There are a few key things to make sure you do when you're making up your containers, and the first thing is to make sure it's got holes in the bottom. Now, most containers do come with holes in the bottom, but some don't, or they might just have a thinner layer of plastic, so you could either pop those with a screwdriver or something else from your garden, or maybe if it's a tougher pot then you might need to drill some holes, but that's really important for drainage. And another key thing for drainage is to make sure that you don't put your compost straight into your pot. So we can get rid of our rubbish in our garden, which is fantastic. So throw in any old stones that you might have. If you're anything like me, I've got broken pots laying around everywhere just for this job, just in case. So hang on to your old pots and then throw those in the bottom. And then this is just going to make sure that your plants don't get waterlogged. You can use anything like this. This is just old slate. You might have some old tiles. And even this, you know, you might think, oh, what am I going to do with all those plastic pots? You want to recycle them. Well, they're perfect for this as well. So just throw those in. What you don't want to do though is put too many big rocks in, because obviously that's going to make it very heavy. So still make it so you can pick those up. And as you can see, you've got a good mixture in there, and that's just going to really help this pot not to get waterlogged. It's going to be great for drainage. Right, so in goes the compost. Let's get that in. So all of your lovely gel and feed in there, which is going to help to retain the moisture for the plants. And then another thing that you want to do here is just to make sure that you don't overfill it, because what will happen is that all of that water will tip out the sides. So give it a good shake and then just fill up the last bit here. So firm that down, and that's full of your gel crystals in there and your feed, so your plants are going to have a really great drink, and there's lots of great moisture in there. Take your trailing plants, so these are best to go around the edge. The tempting thing when your plants are this small is to overpack your container. So as you pull them out with your dibbling tool, just make sure you're handling them by the roots, not by the plant. Again, you can use your dibbling tool if you want, but you can just use your finger to make a hole. And you want to put your trailing plants around the edge. So I've got some trailing pansies here. So I'm going to pop these ones around the edge, and you want to do this about 10 centimetres apart. You can actually afford to put them closer together than you can in hanging baskets, but don't fill it too full. And it just means you've got more plants to put in other containers and hanging baskets in your garden. So maybe 4 or 5 around the edge of this size container. And then what we're going to do in the middle is put some uprights. This is going to give you some really good height in the middle, and then obviously the trailing plants around the edge, which are going to look lovely. So there we go, I think that's enough of those. 3 of these. The easiest thing is if you just make a little triangle in the middle. These are our wallflowers. Lovely. And it's really not going to take long. This is going to take maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and these are really going to establish themselves nicely. And there we are. So obviously we want to just get them watered, give them a good drink. Okay, so I have to say it looks a bit sparse at the moment, but don't worry. This is going to look absolutely stunning, and these will grow, establish themselves. It will be full of colour, and it'll look lovely in your garden. So good luck with your containers.